Building a ClickBank income system often looks simple when you first hear about it online. But that first impression hides a deeper process that most beginners don't fully understand until they start taking action themselves. At the surface level, the steps seem very straightforward. Create an account, choose a product, and start sharing your affiliate link with people who might be interested in that offer. However, once you begin, you quickly realize that there is a gap between knowing the steps and actually making them work together in a way that produces consistent results over time. This gap is where most beginners start to feel confused because they are doing things, but those actions are not yet forming a complete system that generates predictable outcomes. One of the biggest misconceptions is believing that results should come quickly, especially after watching success stories that often skip the early stages of learning and experimentation. Many people expect to see clicks, leads, or even sales within a few days, and when that doesn't happen, they start questioning whether the method actually works. This expectation creates pressure, and that pressure leads to frustration, which can cause people to abandon the process before giving it enough time to develop. The truth is that most systems require time to build momentum, and ClickBank is no different when it comes to developing consistent performance. ClickBank is not based on single actions, but on a sequence of actions that need to be repeated and refined over time in order to produce meaningful results. It works more like a system than a shortcut, where each part depends on the others to function correctly and generate the desired outcome. This means that success is not about doing one thing right once, but about doing the right things consistently and allowing the process to evolve. Understanding this changes how you approach the platform, shifting your focus from quick wins to long-term development. Another important reality is that most of the effort in the beginning is invisible, meaning you are working without immediate feedback or visible rewards. You might be creating content, testing different approaches, and learning new concepts, but none of that translates into instant results. This can make it feel like nothing is happening, even though you are actually building the foundation of your future system. And this stage is critical because skipping it usually leads to weak or unstable results later. Most people quit during this phase, not because the method is flawed, but because they don't see immediate confirmation that their actions are working. They interpret the lack of results as failure instead of understanding it as part of the normal development process. This leads to stopping early, switching strategies, or abandoning the idea entirely before giving it a real chance. In reality, many systems fail not due to lack of potential, but due to lack of continuation. Another key factor is structure, which determines whether your actions are connected or simply isolated attempts without a clear direction. Without structure, you may generate traffic that doesn't convert, create content that doesn't lead anywhere, or promote products without proper context. Each part exists independently, but they do not work together as a system that guides the user from interest to action. This is why many beginners feel like they are doing everything, yet nothing seems to produce results. When structure is present, everything starts to connect in a more natural and logical way, creating a flow that makes sense for both you and your audience. Traffic becomes more targeted, content becomes more intentional, and each step leads clearly to the next part of the process. Instead of guessing what to do next, you follow a sequence that has a defined purpose and direction. This is where the system begins to feel more controlled and less random. Consistency is another reality that plays a major role, often more important than intensity or short bursts of effort. Doing a lot of work in one day does not compensate for long periods of inactivity or lack of continuity in your actions. Progress comes from repetition, from showing up regularly, and from continuing even when results are not immediately visible. This steady approach allows patterns to form and improvements to accumulate over time. Another misconception is thinking that more tools, more strategies, or more complexity will lead to better results. In reality, adding too many elements often creates confusion and slows down execution instead of improving performance. What actually makes a difference is clarity, knowing what to focus on and eliminating unnecessary steps. Clarity simplifies decisions and allows you to move forward with more confidence and direction. So what is the real truth about building a ClickBank income system in a realistic and sustainable way over time? It is not fast, it is not automatic, and it does not produce results without consistent effort and proper understanding of the process. But when you combine structure, consistency, and clarity, the system begins to work in a more predictable and stable way. And if you want to see how a structured system is organized step by step, you can explore the official page in the description and decide if that path fits your goals.